My goal for this video is to give more clarity on why obesity happens. Today, 45% of people are obese. In the 1960s, 12% of people were obese. The brain is the informer of the body. So I'm going to be talking about hormones and a specific part of the brain called the hypothalamus and how a disruption in the brain and the hormones causes obesity. I will also give my solution for insulin control, which would ultimately solve the obesity problem. First, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and click the bell for more health and fitness educational content. As a human species, we did not start seeing obesity as a risk until the early 1900s. Today, nearly half of the US adult population has a BMI above 30, with the healthy range being about 18 to 24. The 1980s is around when we started to see a steady increase in the number of obese people. So we went from 15% to 43% of the population being obese. If this trajectory continues, every American will experience type 2 diabetes at some point in their life. So this is not a good place for us to be if we want our species to continue. What does the brain have to do with obesity? If we can understand this, then I think we are closer to the solution to the obesity epidemic. The hypothalamus acts differently in obese people versus non-obese people. This is due to extreme hunger, aka hyperphagia. There was a study where they purposely damaged the hypothalamus of mice and they started cramming a bunch of food into their faces. If the calories of the mice were restricted to normal, 80% of the mice did not gain weight. But the calories had to be restricted, otherwise the mice would have eaten anything they could have gotten their paws on because their damaged brains thought that they were starving, which is why I'm a fan of calorie tracking. So what causes damage to this part of the brain called the hypothalamus? The hypothalamus can sense a hormone called leptin, which is released from fat cells. Leptin makes you feel full. When your body fat is too low, leptin decreases and you feel hungrier. As humans, we are usually very good at eating more, but when it comes to eating less and shedding some extra pounds, that's where we struggle. People that are obese are eating out of false starvation, where people that are normal weight are eating for nutrients. In obese people, there is leptin resistance. So leptin goes up as body fat goes up, but in obese people, the hypothalamus is leptin resistant. So the obese person doesn't feel full, therefore they keep eating. And that is why weight loss feels so hard, because our brain tricks us into thinking we are starving. The body is designed to cling onto fat because it is our densest and most available energy source. It is a survival switch for our brain if it thinks that we are going through a famine or period of food scarcity. We do need some level of fat to fight off infections, but we don't need nearly as much as our brain wants us to think. So now we know why those who are obese seem to feel hungry all the time. So, what causes the hypothalamus to become damaged? Leptin levels go down 25% in the first couple days of eating less. So, if you lower calories by 25%, leptin goes down a lot more than 25%, which is why we feel so hungry in the first week of lowering calories. It is possible to go back to the question that I asked before. It is possible that neurons called APG neurons wipe out the leptin receptors in obese people, which basically means the hypothalamus is deaf to any signals from leptin, which leads to more hunger and more weight gain. We do not know where these receptors are exactly, but the leptin receptor being wiped out causes leptin resistance, just like insulin resistance. So imagine in an obese person who's insulin resistant and leptin resistant, those are the two hormones in charge of telling us we are full. And obese people are eating and eating and eating because their brain genuinely does think that they are starving. So, there are obese environments and non-obese environments. This is where genetics comes in, because the way our genes behave is determined by our environment. So if genetics are determined by environment, then people who grow up in an environment where everyone who came before them and everyone around them is obese, they are going to be obese, highly likely. Some large-scale studies have discovered 900 different genes that are active in obese people. Genes do not cause the obesity, but the environment does. The big picture is 1,000 years ago, none of us were obese, but 50% of us had the genes that would allow us to be obese in obese environments. So this may be why some struggle to lose weight while others effortlessly stay thin. Differences in body fat are determined by how the brain operates. Now, the big question is, what is the best solution to obesity? And how can we fix this relationship between our brain and our hormones and make weight loss less of an uphill battle? Weight gain is downstream of insulin resistance. So it is a symptom, but not a cause. Treating weight gain instead of fixing insulin resistance is what the medical system does. The hormones that are designed to signal fullness are not getting through to the brain, mostly because we are eating foods that are packed full of sugar and other processed ingredients. When insulin is in the bloodstream for too long as a result of sugar and processed ingredients, fat is stored and hormone imbalance is occurring. So if we treat insulin resistance through diet and lifestyle, then we will begin to feel satisfied after eating. And right now, we are treating weight gain with drugs, which is a symptom, not a cause. There is still so much research being done on obesity. Changing our habits and changing our environment will always be better than medication, but no industries make money with that approach. I did another video recently where I talk about what metabolic syndrome is and how to reverse insulin resistance, so I will link that below. I also have a couple videos on diet that I will link below. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for more educational videos. Remember that your symptoms are common but not normal, and you can change them.